And now, Laramie Live on KOWB continues on AM 1290.
And we're back 9:12 here on a Monday morning. I'm David Settle, joined in studio. Drew Johnson and David Kling are with me as we talk a little bit about Rotary Club of Laramie hosting tonight's little event. It's a fun family night, and it is the Gem City Travelers, which some of you probably have no idea who I'm talking about. It's a bunch of folks from the community, including yours truly, and we get to play the Harlem Ambassadors and get flat out embarrassed. I'm hoping Drew Johnson and David Kling, thanks for coming on the show with me this morning, but I'll invite Drew to the mic here first as they're in studio with us. I'm hoping that we don't get too embarrassed by the Ambassadors on Wednesday night.
Oh, not at all. Well, thanks for having us, David. You know, I forgot to tell you, you're our starting center this year. So,
okay.
I hope you've been practicing. Yeah, we have a little bit smaller team, but we're really excited. This is our third year in the last 4 years of putting this event on. It's Wednesday night, this Wednesday at 7 p.m. at Laramie High School. We put together a team to help raise funds for whatever cause you're doing. We play the Harlem Ambassadors, which is a co-ed professional team out of Fort Collins, and they travel the nation and help clubs raise funds for whatever their cause is. And so, like I said, we've done this. This will be our third time last 4 years, and it's a great gig. It's kind of similar to the Globetrotters, but more kind of like a JV team.
Okay.
And it's a show for the kids, and they love it.
Yeah, it really is a family-friendly event. What are the costs? Doors open at 6. I know you just mentioned it starts at 7, but the doors open at 6. What are the costs for folks that are coming out to this event?
Yeah, absolutely. So if your age is 5 and under, you get in for free. If your age is 6 to 12, it's $5, and then 13 and over is $10 to get in the door. All
right, and a fun family event, but it goes to support a great cause. Anything you guys have in mind for the proceeds? Because I know you guys, Rotary does projects not only on the local level, but state and national levels as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's definitely something going into it that we decide before we set up, you know, where do we want the money to go. What we decided this year is developmental daycare and preschool has a new location that they're ramping up to move into. And one of the things that they want to do is they want to, create a new playground. And so we thought it would be an excellent idea to kind of kick that off and donate the surplus proceeds to that cause.
Fantastic. My kids both attended developmental preschool and daycare before they got into the public school system here. So talk a little bit about just the planning and the effort that goes into an event like this. I know this is, you mentioned, the third time in the last 4 years, so you get better and more efficient as it goes, as the years fly by, but a lot goes into this, and then you guys will finally, once the doors open and everything tips off at 7, we'll be able to relax a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we definitely put several months in behind it. Having done this before, it gets a little bit easier, but as you know, trying to plan stuff, things always come up. But with that said, it's not too bad. We get a mix of Rotary members, community members. We've got some ex-UW athletes. They're going to play on the team, and those guys really are the show. Once it kicks off, you guys are the show. So we're excited.
Don't anticipate me to be the show. If I'm your starting center, I do play more in the perimeter, so I got used to that in high school and college, being a little slender of build. So, and I have tuned up. I did play City League this year for the first time in quite a while. We finished third, so I hate to brag, but we did finish third actually, in a pretty good run there at the end of the tournament. David, talk a little bit about just the entertainment that the Ambassadors provide and what it's like partnering with a group like that.
Sure. The Harlem Ambassadors, it's a great group to work with. They pretty much lay all the requirements out, and it's very simple and easy going to work with them. They come in and put on a fantastic show. It's something you don't get to see every day, especially for the kids. I mean, in years past, we've had kids up in the stands that are dancing. They come down on the court and interact with the players, and it's really geared towards them, and it's a fantastic opportunity to get them out and watch it.
Well, and something, a co-ed team, and we're going to have co-ed members on our squad. You don't often see that a lot, but it does happen. Mm-hmm. And, the Ambassadors, just being out of Fort Collins, but it sounds like travel all over the place to wherever the groups want them to come, basically.
They've been all over Wyoming. They've been in even the smallest of towns in Wyoming. And I think they do, they probably do 2-3 events a week.
Wow.
I mean, they have a blistering schedule that they run.
Okay.
So it's what they do. They just travel and play basketball and entertain.
Drew Johnson, David Kling's kind of the organizers behind the Rotary Club of Laramie and bringing in the Harlem Ambassadors for this fun event on Wednesday night. What are some of the things the Ambassadors do? What are some of the gimmicks, the fun events people can kind of expect, not giving the whole show away, of course?
Well, like I say, they're similar to the Globetrotters, so they have a lot of entertainment value. We had one girl 2 years ago that threw the ball half court over her back and swished it. I mean, they do little skits. You probably don't want to be the referee in this game.
Do we have local referees for this event? Oh, Lane Buchanan.
Let's hope he's not listening.
So you're telling me you haven't kind of enlightened Lane on all this?
Well, actually, Lane did it for us. He did it for us 2 years ago.
Okay.
And he was an absolutely great referee. Got along with that group really well. So we're excited to have back again.
A glutton for punishment, I guess. Would that be kind of right, Drew? He's going to be a glutton
Absolutely.
for punishment.
Great sport.
All right. Well, it's a fun time, folks. Come on out. Laramie High School. Doors open at 6. 7 o'clock is the event, the Harlem Ambassadors. And you guys mentioned, what are some of the other projects that Rotary is getting involved with, guys? I know it's not just this project, but what are some of the other things that have benefited maybe from the past, since you guys have done this a couple times in the past, Drew?
Yeah, the previous 2 times we did it, 3 years ago was the first time we did it. And if I remember correctly, that was a year we did it at the Civic Center, and they were applying for some grants to improve some of the interior and the exterior sides of the building. And so what we decided was we would donate the funds from that to kick off the window campaign. So they were redoing a bunch of the windows in the gymnasium there, and so that's where the money went the first year. And the second year, we actually had an issue with the timing of everything, which is kind of the biggest challenge with putting this event on. We typically did it in March. Well, March is men's basketball season, and so 2 years ago we ran into an issue with the CBI game in Laramie. Yep. But that's okay. We basically broke even, so we don't really have anywhere to put the funds that last year. But we anticipate a better crowd this year without the conflict.
Absolutely. Go support a great cause. If you missed, if you're just joining us, Drew mentioned the fact that this year helping to build a playground at the new location for developmental daycare and preschool, and getting that. They've kind of outgrown their building over there on Shield Street near Labonte Park. I can certainly attest to that, having kids in there for over 6-7 years, so there's no doubt about that. So Wednesday night, it's at Laramie High School. You mentioned changing the timing. How difficult is that to kind of change the timing of this event? Slide it back a month, considering how busy the Ambassadors are.
It was tough. I tried to get it a couple different months throughout the year, and they just don't have the schedule. They try to time it. They travel by bus everywhere, so they try to time it to where they're in the state. They can make it over there pretty readily. So it actually required us to sit out a year last year in order to get on the calendar for a different month, so we wouldn't be in competition with some of the UW athletic stuff.
Well, yeah, and I know you mentioned the CBI conflict. That it just happened to work out head-to-head on the day, and I was supposed to play in that game 2 years ago, and I was one of those locally that had to duck out. So
we lost because you didn't play.
Yeah, that's thanks. Right. I appreciate that. So if you're putting it on me to win this game, Wednesday night, 7 o'clock is, and it should be a lot of fun. So if you folks can come out, support a great cause, and again, it does go the proceeds towards this new playground for the new location for developmental preschool and daycare. They're moving to a bigger facility to meet their expanding needs. Daycare, certainly something that is very prevalent in this community with a lot of young children in town. You guys mentioned traveling all over the place. Do they go all over the country, or are they more on a regional basis, Harlem Ambassadors? Do you know that off the top of your head, Drew?
I'm not certain. I'm under the impression that prior to maybe this year or last year, they had 2 teams, and so they would simultaneously travel and split up across the country. But I believe that's now consolidated to 1 team. Okay. And I am assuming that team does travel all over the nation at this point in time. Yeah, and I don't know when they would take time off. Yeah,
they as David mentioned, they've been in biggest to the smallest communities in Laramie, and they're coming from Sundance.
I believe that Tuesday night they play in Sundance, Wyoming.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's hope that they get worn out a little bit then. Maybe we might have a fighting chance, I guess, on Wednesday night. 7 o'clock, Gem City Travelers, you mentioned some different folks in the community. I'm one of them. I don't know how I got recruited. Actually, I do know how I got recruited to play in this basketball game, but I am looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun, and it's for entertaining value. I mean, are we supposed to lose this game, I guess?
By design. No chance.
No chance whatsoever, huh? All right. Well, I won't. I'm not really going into this with a serious approach. Let's just put it that way. I really,
You'll do great.
I really have not trained too much for this one. I'm a basketball enthusiast, and I don't mind picking up a basketball. We actually have a little mini hoop, and Drew and David were giving me a hard time for practicing for the game, but that's not helping my game. Trust me. Not on this short of a hoop. So. Anything else that we're missing that I want to get out there for the public so that they can get on out and support this great cause on Wednesday, guys?
I think we've covered it pretty well. We just ask that you come support the cause, and I think you'll really enjoy it. The kids really love it. They played Cowboy Joe song 2 years ago, and the kids freaked out about it. The Cotton Eye Joe song. It was hilarious.
Guys, thanks for coming in. I know you guys are busy. We'll let you get back to the office. Maybe.
Sounds great. Thanks again, David.